Pag-usapan natin itong ruling kanina po ng Senate Impeachment Court, no? Isubpoena itong bank records ni Vice President Sara Duterte. Doon po sa mga hindi talaga nasundan lahat siya, no? Ano po ba specifically yung mga ignorant na gusto nyong masubpoena?
Unang-una, just to review, no, para malaman naman nakikinig at nanonood, dalawa po ang request ng prosecution. Unang-una, yung unang tinalakay ay subpoena para sa mga bank records. At pangalawa, subpoena sa mahiwagang BIR box. No? Nabuksan yon, dalhin at buksan yung box at tignan kung ano nasa loob. No? At we're very happy. Nagpapasalamat kami na after 3.5 hours of arguments on the floor, both from the prosecution at yung defense side sa clarificatory questions ng principally of the Senator Alan Peter and Senator Pia Cayetano and some side manifestations of Sir Robin Hood Padilla, nalinawan, lumabas agad. We were thinking na magbobotohan kasi normally pag merong mga issues na ganyan and if there is a dissent, no? Kung merong hindi pumapayag, pwedeng mag-call to a vote, no? Kasi nasa Senate impeachment rules yan na if a senator judge disagrees and asks for a vote, magbobotohan. And to our happy surprise, kanina nagulat po kami na hindi po nag-divide ng House, hindi po nagtawag ng botohan, and our Senate presiding judge yan kasi over the weekend, sabi nga nila magko-caucus sila. So siguro merong consensual or collective decision ang mga senator judges. Now going to your question, pareho pong grinant ng presiding judge, Cheese Escudero. Sa mga bank transactions, sa mga bank records, although mahaba-haba yung arguments na hindi daw ito sang-ayon sa rules on subpoena kasi fishing expedition daw, nag-reason naman si Senate Presiding Judge Cheese na yung request po ng prosecution, compliant naman. Ano ibig sabihin nun? Kasi klarong-klaro sa rules on subpoena, no? Sa rules on procedure, sa rules of court, Rule 21 ng rules of court on civil procedure, ang subpoena kailangan, unang-una, kailangan klaro, definite. It's definite, it is particular, and relevant sa proceedings, no? Tatlo yon: relevancy, certainty, at saka particularity. Ang discussion dito nag-center sa, well, first of all, one of the senator judges said, paano yung highlighting yung landmark case of Jokno, no? Na renule out ng Supreme Court daw in this landmark case of Jokno, na hindi daw dinismiss na at illegal daw yung request, no, for all of these documents. Pero ang pinoint out rightfully ni prosecutor, Senate prosecutor Shell Jokno, na the ruling in Stonehill versus Jokno, hindi naman subpoena ang issue doon. Ang issue
Search warrant.
Search warrant. Sa search warrant talaga, hindi pwedeng blanket search warrant yan. Pag nag-search warrant ka, lalo-lalo na, dapat definite ang address. Search warrant, pwede kang pumasok sa bahay, pero what will you search? Hindi naman pwedeng yun ang fishing expedition kung hindi mo, kunyari, if the charge is firearms, ang isa-search mo firearms, no? Hindi yung blanket na any illegal object inside the house. Hindi pwedeng ganun. Or any acts showing violation of the crime, hindi pwedeng ganun. So,
Okay.
search warrant ang subject. Sa amin naman sa subpoena, napakaklaro. Each of the subpoena or request for subpoena, name the particular bank, yung branch, ano ang account na gusto namin, etc. So it was very particular, it was very definite, and klarong-klaro na relevant sa issue ng ill-gotten wealth.
Okay.
Second,
Sige.
yeah.
Sige po.
Idadagdag ko lang
Sige,
yan.
go ahead po.
Two parts
Sige
ng
po.
unang-una sa bank records at pangalawa sa BIR records naman. Ang sinabi naman ng defense, BIR records, violation yan ng secrecy laws. No? At besides, pag BIR records, anong kinalaman yan sa ill-gotten wealth? Ang laki po ng kinalaman yan, and rightfully, Senate Presiding Judge Cheese pointed out the reasons why BIR records are relevant to prove ill-gotten wealth. No? To establish kasi yung SALN na pinakita na sa House Committee on Justice, established a baseline. Magkano ba talaga? For instance, baka hindi nalalaman ng mga nakikinig, no? Ang salary ng isang Vice President, nasa salary grade 32 ang Vice President. Magkano ang salary grade 32? Currently, nasa 356,237 pesos monthly. So, ang nasa SALN, 88 million. So, paano nangyari yun? Na ang sweldo ng Vice President, 356,000, declared sa SALN is 88 million. But, pinakita sa AMLA report na sinubmit sa House Prosecutor is 6.7 billion. So malaki ang discrepancy, and that's why there was a need to subpoena all of these documents from the relevant government agencies. So in that sense, we were very happy na itong nangyari.
And I suppose, no, hindi naman sa gumagawa po tayo ng scorecard dito, pero this can be seen as the first significant victory, quote-unquote, for the prosecution, hindi po ba? Given how crucial the bank records and tax records are.
Yes, it showed you the firmness. It showed you the firmness of the presiding judge.
Okay.
In considering all of the arguments and then coming out with a very clear ruling, no? He also cited very fair ang ruling kasi he cited also certain exceptions, no? Kasi sa issue ng SALN, bakit pinapasabpina pa ang records ng mga companies ng president, ng vice president, and the husband, Attorney Man Scarpio, no? Pati yung income, revenue ng law office ni Attorney Man Scarpio, no? So tungkol sa law office, pumayag din si Senate Presiding Judge Cheese na isubpoena, lawful ang subpoena sa bank, sa records ng law firm and records of 19 companies kung saan may investment ang couple, no? Kasi 21 companies ang pinasubpoena sa SEC records to prove the ill-gotten wealth, because sinasabi nila one of the allegations of the defense is hindi naman galing sa compensation lang yan, meron rin mga investments ang couple, no, ang husband and the wife, no. So sabi ng presiding judge, yes, you can subpoena those documents except for 2 companies, no. Yung 2 companies na yan, kasi wala namang general information sheet na sinubmit ang SEC na nandyan ang mga pangalan nila. So these 2 companies, JBC, mother companies ito, mga franchisor companies na hindi naman lumalabas sa general information sheet ng SEC ang pangalan ng Attorney Man Scarpio at
Okay. Attorney, may isa akong tanong kasi kanina na-bring up po ito dun sa discussion dyan po sa impeachment trial. Di ba yung dinifferentiate yung search warrant at saka itong subpoena. Sinabi niya Congressman Chel Joc, no? Pag search warrant, diretso yung makukuha ebidensya sa korte. Pero pag subpoena, hindi necessarily admissible agad yan, no? And I think there was another senator judge who asked that question na pag sinubpoena ba automatically admitted na sa korte. Ang tanong ko po sa inyo ganito, no? Does it go without saying na dahil nag-issue ng subpoena dito sa mga records na ito, mabubulat-lat yan, mabubuksan at mabubusisi?
Tama yan, Christian. No? A subpoena does not mean, subpoena only means that the documents are required to be produced. Hindi naman sinasabi na pag produce ang documents dyan, it is already an admission of truth or falsity of the documents. No? Ipipresenta pa yan. Hindi naman, itong ruling ng court is a ruling to produce the documents. It is not a ruling on admissibility. Ang ruling on admissibility as evidence, pagkatapos ng offer of evidence yan. No? At pag pininesenta na yan as evidence in court. So this is not, para hindi maguluhan ng mga nanonood, nakikinig, hindi po ibig sabihin na inadmit na ang truth ng mga dokumento na yan. Inadmit lang yan as documents to be presented during the trial.
Clarify ko rin po, no? Kasi I'm thinking matinding bakbakan ito every step of the way, hindi po ba? Dahil we're talking here of so many bank documents and understandably, talagang lalabanan yan every step of the way by the defense. Ang tanong ko po ganito, how are you preparing for that? And number two, how crucial is it for the prosecution to actually have these pieces of evidence admitted to support your allegation that there was indeed ill-gotten wealth at ibabangga siya doon sa SALN?
Yung SALN documents na yan, ang SALN kasi is a record, are reports of the banks themselves. No? Ang mga bangko are required by law to submit yung tinatawag na covered transactions and suspicious transactions. So lumabas doon sa report ng AMLA and the witness during the head of AMLA, the witness during the House Committee on Justice, na meron nga mga question suspicious at covered transactions amounting to 6.7 million. So lumabas na yan. It's not like it's a surprise, no? Because may presumption of regularity ang mga submissions, ang report ng AMLA. Kasi hindi naman nila, the AMLA is just a recorder of the mandated submissions ng mga bangko. Hindi naman sinasabi ng AMLA, ay ito ay illegal, ay ito ay evidence. Hindi. It just shows na if the amount is, if it's a covered transaction, that means the amount is 500,000 and above. That means covered yan. Suspicious, kung napakalaki naman ito at bakit merong regularity every month na may pumapasok na milyon-milyon. No? So, nagiging suspicious. Now, what will validate? Ito ay validation. What will validate that is the bank records. Sasabihin sa bank records, sino ang may-ari ng bank account na yan? Is it the Vice President? Is it both of them? Do they have a joint account? Because hindi naman sinasabi sa AMLA record siya. Ano? And so it is crucial, but it is not really, it would not have been a disaster if we did not get the subpoena.